Today I want to talk about former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and his ambition to become the President of Federal Republic, and how that ambition has really caused problems in the opposition, how that ambition led to the internal crisis that PDP is currently facing, how that ambition emboldened Wike and caused the total, destruction of the PDP, how that ambition of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar helped, the emergence of Buhari in 2015, how the ambition of former Vice President Atiku led to the emergence of Tinubu as president in 2023, and how that ambition might also help Tinubu win the election in 2027. Now, how many of you remember what happened in 2015 when Jonathan, even though at the time the presidency was zoned to the north, and how Atiku opposed Jonathan? Even Jonathan had to say, look, allow me become the president for just this one time, and after that you will become president. And Atiku vehemently refused. And then he sponsored and supported 5 other renegade governors from the G5. They come to the APC, helped Buhari to become the president, and Buhari became president. And we saw all what happened with Buhari's 8 years as president. And after that, Atiku has not hidden his desire to become president. And based on rotational presidency and gentleman agreement that's been agreed by all political parties, since Buhari has spent 8 years as a northerner, it's only right for equity and justice that power shifts to the south. And then in 2023, Atiku still contested the election, knowing fully well it was the turn of the south to be president. So we're not surprised why Wike and the others decided to support Tinubu, because they believe power should move to the south. And Atiku insisted that he was going to contest that election, and it was alleged that the elections were dollarized. The primaries in PDP, Atiku emerged as the flag bearer. And that is the genesis, the beginning of the end of PDP up until today, that has made Wike to stand his ground that the party will no longer function effectively as an opposition. And that for the fact that Buhari contested the election, Atiku contested the election in 2023, we saw a split vote of Peter Obi, who left the PDP, went to the Labour Party, and there was a split of vote. The votes were split between Peter Obi, Atiku, and Tinubu. At the end of the day, Tinubu carried the day. Now it's assumed that, power will still remain in the south for another 8 years. And what is Atiku currently doing? He wants to contest the election again. Now, if what we are seeing today with the ADC and Peter Obi and Kwankwaso had to leave, but I've told people that, look, Peter Obi left the party, the NDC, not because probably they didn't agree on consensus candidacy, but one of the reasons for me, given my analysis of the entire situation, that Peter Obi and Kwankwaso left the party simply because the Supreme Court judgment that vacated the status quo ante bellum put in place by the appeal court, the matter has been referred to the Federal High Court. So if care is not taken, ADC might go the same way the APC went in Zamfara, and the same thing happened in Plateau. So to avoid this, they have to go to a party where there are no legal tussles. I'm sure that's the reason why they left. But Atiku's ambition is another reason why I think Peter Obi and Kwankwaso left that party. Because Atiku has not hidden his desire to become president. And he is doing so in flagrant disobedience or disregard for the zoning principles. If Buhari from the northwest did 8 years, it is only logical for equity and justice that a southerner, irrespective of the southeast, southwest, or south-south, become the next president. So it will be rotational, to be just respect, because the same reason Atiku, disagreed with Jonathan in 2015, that was the time of the North. Now he doesn't want anyone else to disagree with him, that it is still the turn of the South. So at the end of the day, for me, I think it's become very, very clear that Atiku is working for the APC. This is my opinion. I think Atiku is working for Tinubu because otherwise it's only just logical. It's only just logical that Buhari from the North spent 8 years. So it's only just logical that the power moves to the South. So if Atiku has become a cog in his own political wheel, because if Atiku had probably supported Jonathan in 2015, I am telling you, perhaps in 2019, Atiku would have been the president, because it would have been a continuity of the PDP thing. But Atiku refused, vehemently citing that power must return to the North because it was the time of the North, and that's how Buhari became the president. So for another 8 years, it's only logical for the South to bring out the next president. So Atiku should just kindly wait until after 4 years. So if after 4 years, because if care is not taken, I am telling you, Tinubu might win the election. But of course, we do not want that to happen, considering that the APC has failed Nigeria in all ramifications. So, Atiku, this is an appeal to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to please support a candidate from the South, and at the end of the day, you quietly oil your political machinery towards the next election after 4 years. This is just my take about how Atiku has helped the opposition to get into power, helped Tinubu get to power in 2023, and might help Tinubu get to power again in 2027. So in this case, you can quietly say that Atiku is the problem, and Atiku probably works for Tinubu. This is my take. Tell me what you think. Drop your ideas in the comment.